after watching this, there's a lot of possible connections to other Sonic games, here that I saw in the movie or the show. But I'm wondering if one of the biggest inspirations, if it was the Sonic and the Black Knight video game, just because, we're going into worlds where there are characters who look like Amy and Knuckles, for example, but they aren't Amy and Knuckles. I'm wondering if that was like a big influence in this.
Not specifically. I wouldn't say that Black Knight specifically drove those particular ideas, but the show is canon, and it is based on the mythology that exists across the game. So, ensuring that we had done our research on that, and we worked very closely with Sega. They have been and are amazing collaborators on the series, and they were all over every detail. So while I wouldn't cite it as a specific reference that drove those ideas, certainly, thinking back, there could be elements from it because we did take such a long look at the legacy that, certainly ideas seeped into the concept from a variety of sources within that.
Cool. Awesome. So Deven, obviously, you were a big Sonic fan before this, made a lot of Newgram videos back in the day. I've watched them. And I'm wondering, which version, of Sonic is your greatest influence? Like, what are you drawing from for inspiration, since you obviously know a lot about Sonic already?
Honestly, I can't even really say that it's one in particular, because Sonic is a character that's endured through so many generations, and I've kind of been there for all of them. So I'm just kind of just mixing, matching, just kind of taking a bit from here, a bit from there, and also kind of throwing my own unique spin in there. Literally spinning wherever I can. So it's just something I'm very grateful to be able to just contribute to this legacy that's lasted for so long. But again, there's no one place where I say, that's it. There's so much to draw from, and so many people who have brought so much to this character for such a long time.
Yeah, definitely. It's awesome to be part of that legacy for sure. So not to give away too much for those who haven't seen it, but I'm really interested in how Amy Rose has been portrayed in this. And I'm wondering, it's a very interesting choice. And I guess this is a more question for Logan. But why was she being presented in this way? And then you probably know what I'm referring to.
Are you talking about her Prime version or?
Yeah, in Prime. Yeah.
So, one of the things that was so important to us and to Sega about Sonic Prime was that it brought Sonic back to his action-forward roots. So it was something that we really wanted to push. And all of the characters needed to level up in terms of how action-forward they were and are portrayed in the show. It's super dynamic and and the cinematography is very action forward, and so there are a lot of emotional layers at the same time. So it was important for us to balance those elements and respect Amy, her core, archetype in terms of her character, but also bring in those elements and ensure that she could speak to a range of emotion and live in these action sequences at the same time, and really compete with both Sonic and Knuckles on that stage. So it was important that we kind of leveled her up that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say quick follow up. I mean, she was always one of my least favorite characters in the games. At least I'm a big fan of her in the comics. But yeah, so I just think it's really interesting because she's one of my favorite characters in the show, just how she's been portrayed. So I thought that was really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And once we get into the Shatterverse, I think Amy will blow a lot of people's minds. There are multiple versions of her, and through the course of the series, they kind of really bond together, and we call them the Amy's. And to me, I think they're going to end up being a fan favorite from the series for sure.
And just really quick, just thought of it because I'm a big Sonic fan. Not to give away too much away, but are there any chances that we might see other characters from IDW? Like, I probably can't say anything, but like Whisper, she's like one of my favorite characters of all time right now. Is there any thought about that, or can't get into that? Or
Yeah, lips are sealed in terms of, any other reveals that might exist within the series. But I can tell you, we're definitely interested in bringing characters from the canon to the series and to the screen, and to continue to explore them in new ways and without, violating the DNA of those characters and how they've existed in the mythology and the legacy all along. But so I can't reveal any secrets. I can tell you, it's something we're definitely interested in doing.
And I guess this next question kind of goes into what you were just talking about, preserving the legacy of the characters and whatnot. I'm guessing, is that one of the reasons why it was chosen to do like the Paradox Prism rather than the Chaos Emeralds? Because like the obvious thing would be, let's use the Chaos Emeralds, but that would probably be changing a lot of what they represent in canon, I'm guessing.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not here to rewrite history in any way, shape, or form, but at the same time, we wanted to take this in new and unexpected directions. And so the idea was that, well, what if we created a new gem and energy source to sort of be the MacGuffin of the series and let that drive its own story. So it was another layer we could add to the world that already exists and feel like there was a little more freedom to explore it because we were creating something new.
Definitely. And this next question is just more for me than anything else. And I guess it's for both of you as a question. I'm curious if either of you were interested or inspired in any way in Archie's Sonic or the Saturday morning cartoon Sonic. Like that's my number one song. I'm wondering if like either of you just inspired or interested in that aspect of Sonic at all.
I could say for me, the Saturday morning cartoon, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was my sort of initial connection to Sonic, because I didn't grow up with the games as a little kid. You either had one system or the other, and I had the other one. But I'd see that TV show and I'd say like, man, I want to get like that guy. He's so cool. So that's definitely something that really, really connected with me. As far as what has influenced my performance, again, it's just drawing upon the entire rich history of that character. So I don't point to any one thing. It's all of it for me.
Gotcha. And I just got a message. We're getting towards the end. So I'm just going to say for you, Deven, just because I don't know if you want to do this, but we are coming up on Christmas time. Okay. And I loved your video, Christmas in the Lava Zone. Like, do you think you could sing that for us, or you probably don't want to? Or
I don't know about that. But I can definitely say to everybody out there watching this Christmas, please do not celebrate your Christmas in the Lava Zone. It probably will not end up very well for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm a big Sonic fan. Must be great, Deven, living your dream, basically doing this. And thank you very much for your time. This was great.